The fishing news is brought to you by Intellux Marine Paint, MAXIMA Fishing Line, and Okuma.
I'm Jim Hutchinson with the New Jersey, Delaware Bay edition of the Fisherman magazine, up here in New York actually, just a few miles away from the airport on my way out for a week's vacation with the wife to Ireland. Just checking out the marshes up here for one last look before I'm gone. You guys that know me, my friends will tell you, folks who read the Fisherman will tell you, and you guys who watch this video on a regular basis. If I'm 30 miles away from the beach, you can expect good action. If I'm 300 miles away from the shore, it's going to be great. I'm talking 3,000 miles away. Expect epic conditions while the albatross is gone. And of course, it's the bunker. It's all about the bunker busting, acres and acres, miles of bunker from North Jersey on down to the tip of Cape May and along the Delaware coast. My buddy Joe Hummel shared this photo, pretty much sums it up. You find those bunker schools blowing up, you're going to find the bass that are pushing the bunker up. But of course, those bass are following along with the bunker schools as well. Whether you're trolling or just live line on the marks or finding that blowing up school, the fish are there and they're big. As a matter of fact, Jerry Janode was the latest with a 50-pounder weighed in at Fisherman's headquarters over the weekend. He caught that fish outside of Barnegat Inlet with Captain Kenny Nutt over the weekend. North Jersey, we're finding more good fishing. Coming down East River's been loaded with stripers. We expect those fish to pour out. The Raritan Bay, expect those fish to pour out. And of course, the West End, South Shore of Long Island, more good striper action coming from there. As a matter of fact, many of the North Jersey captains are getting out, finding good action. Captain Fletcher Chase of Two River Charters just happens to be one of them. Plenty of bass and more waves of good fish coming down from the north. The opportunities, live line and bunker, finding those bunker schools that are hot, or getting your bunker and live lining them on a piece of structure. If you find them busted on the surface, you've got those top water plug opportunities. Or if you just find them marked and you don't have bunker in the box, you might as well put down a swim shad, jig them up. The Maja spoons, of course, wireline trolling with the bunker spoons, or you're putting out the stretch plugs, the Rapalas, the Bomber CDs, and of course the Mojos. Mojos have of course been hot. I talked to Andy at Riptide Bait and Tackle, who says it's very tough to keep those Mojos in stock right now. So folks are obviously loading up for this November run. Although Andy does tell me that some stripers arrived this past week along the beaches of Brigantine, which is great. That's just in time for the Brigantine Elk Surf Fishing Tournament this weekend. Andy's got details on that over at Riptide. Meanwhile, a few more big fish are being caught in Cape May County as well. Randy Peterson aboard Spoiled Rotten brought this 35.8-pounder into Off the Hook Bait and Tackle over the weekend. Again, Cape May looking for some good action. I wonder if those rips are going to be producing this year. Now, while many of those folks along the coast, Monmouth, Central Jersey, are pushing out past the inlets, also South Jersey as well, don't forget, we're getting a re-emerging bass bite in the back as well. 5 years post-Sandy for Central and South Jersey, yet we're finding out some more of those smaller fish predominantly in the back. Captain Alex Majewski of Lighthouse Charters in Barnegat, he's catching some of those smaller stripers in the inlet in the back bay as well. Now, inshore togging is still good, Kathy. It's Sterling Harbor Bait and Tackle in Wildwood shared with me that jetty jocks and kayakers are still doing a number on that one fish bag limit in New Jersey, still hitting them in tight a week before New Jersey's bag limit goes up. Remember, November 16th, we get that 6 fish bag limit back. Also some good-sized kingfish still around. One Stop Bait and Tackle in Atlantic City, producing a lot of tog along the Madison Avenue and the T-Jetty, but also some fat kingfish, 16 inches there. It's also an interesting time of year in terms of fish like kingfish. Some of these summer visitors that we have getting hungry and on the move out around this time of year down on Delaware Bay. A lot of folks look for those speckled trout. Frank Tagani had a nice speckled trout that he checked in back at Lewis Harbor Marina over in Delaware. This weekend, of course, don't forget about sea bass, the biscuit time at local wrecks. Boats like Cape Queen Charters down in Cape May County. Boats all along the Jersey coast down into Delaware running those black sea bass charters because our bag limit is back in. You have until the end of this year to take advantage of that black sea bass fishing. If you're finding some of those smaller fish, Jersey's got the 12.5 inch or the 13-inch size limit. Having trouble getting their clam baits down to those small ones, you might want to take some bucktails or a jig head. You have those chartreuse swimming mullet from this summer's fluke fishing. Try putting those down on a jig head. A lot of times those bucktails and jigs will catch up with those bigger knucklehead sea bass. Bigger sea bass is what it's all about this month. We've got the Dreamboat Contest in play. Folks, you got to get those black sea bass back to the weigh stations. Get your opportunity to score. As of the middle of this week, 5.15 pounds is the minimum weight for you to get a sea bass on that Dreamboat leaderboard. That's open to you Fisherman subscribers. Weigh early, weigh often. You get multiple fish this year, so don't forget about this. Now, this week's edition of the Fisherman magazine has a full rundown of all the events that are going on this weekend at the Jersey Shore especially. Make sure you pick that up. November 11th through 13th, mentioned the Brigantine Elks Tournament. Also the 11th through the 13th, the Robert Sorolick Memorial Bass Tournament put on by the Redmen of Tuckerton. Lester Glenn has a 5th annual truck show in Ocean County at the Ocean County Mall. If you're looking for a truck, a new purchase for the year, that's the place to do it. You've got the HRFA Surf Tournament on the 12th. Also, November 12th is the 10th annual High Tide Striper Tournament. That's running out of Cape May and also out of Forked River. You can call Bob Misak. He's our New Jersey field editor, 609-848-3121. And on November 13th, there's a fishing flea market, one of the last of the year at West Trenton Volunteer Fire Company. So make sure you pick up the New Jersey edition, this week's edition, New Jersey, Delaware Bay. It's got the full rundown of all the action that's going on. Remember, the Albatross is 3,000 miles away by the time you get this. That means good things. I expect to come back next week. You guys all tell me you should have been here. Well, I should have. So don't miss out on that. The action's going to be great. Until next week at The Fisherman and thefisherman.com. Salanche, my friends.
The fishing news is brought to you by Interlux Marine Paint, MAXIMA Fishing Line, and Okuma.